Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Up Your Alley. It's a podcast with two best friends. That's me. My name's Taylor Edgar, and with me, as always, is my best buddy, Jake Baggett. Say hey, Jake.
Hello.
We recommend things to each other, and then we come back the next week and discuss it, give each other points based on how much it is up our individual alleys. Right now, the score is me with 47 points, Jake close behind with 46 points.
Nice.
That might change up this week because we are talking about the Comedy Central sketch series Stella. That was Jake's recommendation for me.
Yeah.
And my recommendation for Jake, the second week of All Affleck April. You're halfway through All Affleck April.
I know.
How are you feeling?
I can't believe it's going by this fast.
Can you imagine? It just comes and goes.
I only have 4 total Ben Afflecks to go through.
I know.
Just 2 more left.
Should we just turn this to a Ben Affleck podcast?
I'm ready for a year.
Yeah. But we're talking about the director's cut, specifically the director's cut of the 2003 film Daredevil.
Yes.
Before we get into that, we're going to catch up a little bit. We got a little celebration for the podcast.
Yes,
Jake,
sir.
you passed that test.
I passed my first test.
IT test. Congratulations, buddy.
I did the math. I studied for over 100 hours for this thing.
You did that?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Fuck, you Skyrimmed that, that test.
2 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, since like the beginning of December.
Right.
So like around 100 hours.
Nice, man.
That's
good for you.
Crazy. I've never worked this hard for something in my life.
We're doing this podcast. You don't
insane.
work that hard for this podcast?
I watched Daredevil, the director's cut, for this.
That's free, though. Like, come on. You would have done that for nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
We'll get into it. How was your Easter? We just had Easter last weekend.
I worked, and yeah, it's always stupid to work during a holiday. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. My favorite part is when everybody comes in and is like, "I'm so sorry you're working." And
yeah, then it's like I wouldn't have to if you weren't here.
If you just got gas, this wouldn't have happened, buddy.
That's fair.
I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah. I just cooked a bunch of food, had people over.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. I like cooking.
Oh, yes, you do. What'd you cook?
Did an eye round roast, did some smoked barbecue chicken, some macaroni and cheese.
Holy cow.
There's some salads and stuff, made some cookies.
Good God.
Yeah.
You did the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, more or less. Mom helped.
Nice.
It was good. Everything was fun. My sister made a cake that was good.
Nice.
Yes.
It sounds like a great Easter to me.
Yeah, it was a fun Easter.
You got the nephew over?
Oh, yeah. Kids running around doing all sorts of stuff.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then, what else was I doing this weekend? There were some things I wanted to talk to you about, but shit, I didn't write down all of them. Oh, this book is one of the things I want to talk to you about. So it's a comic that I'm not using as a recommendation because it is Batman, but it's not Ben Affleck Batman, so it's not part of this month. This is extra. And if anyone else wants to pick it up, it's great. It's Mike Mignola. Mignola?
I think it's Mignola.
Yeah, sure. He's Hellboy. He did Hellboy.
Yes.
He wrote a Batman graphic novel called The Doom That Came to Gotham. So it's set in like the 1920s, and it's basically Batman, but it's Lovecraft horror.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Because his art style works really well in something like that.
Yes, it does. Well, and his writing, too. I mean, that's pretty much a lot of early Hellboy was Lovecraftian.
That's true. Yeah.
Extra dimensional, like, if you stare at this monster, your brain will explode. Yeah. But yeah, it's Batman like that. And what was weird about this is they put out a animated movie of it before the comic shipped. Because when I saw this like 6 months ago, I added it to Amazon and was just like, oh yeah, when that comes out, mail it to me.
That never happens.
But they had the animated movie like already animated, ready to go, and the art style's completely different in the animated movie. I watched a trailer and I was like, I would not watch this at all.
Oh,
but this is fantastic.
I just was at Walmart looking at their movies, and there's a new Justice League movie with Doom in the title as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justice League Doom is amazing.
Right.
Have you seen that?
I've read it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I watched
so.
the movie. It's where Batman, somebody steals Batman's plans that he has to kill everybody in the Justice League.
Yeah.
It's great. I loved it.
I think that might have been something like that in like the Justice League Tower of Babel arc too.
I don't know.
I forget. It's been a while since I've been knee deep in any DC that's not Batman centric. But yeah, I remember that.
Justice League Doom. It was really good. But now
Flash has like a.
Then we have the Doom that came to Gotham. Now we have another Justice League with Doom in the title.
Yeah.
Doom's all over the place these days.
Yeah. But no Justice League in All Affleck April, sadly.
Oh. I'm so sad about that.
I already told you that.
Oh, my God. I'm so sad.
If we get to All Affleck April 2, Afflectric Boogaloo.
We'll see what happens.
Can you appreciate Afflectric Boogaloo?
I was trying to think of something better than that.
You can't. You can stop because it's not going to happen. I did watch...
Stop, Ben Affleck, and listen. Ben Affleck is back with a brand new mission. Yeah.
Is that what you got?
That's better.
All right. I'll accept it. But since I've been doing like the YouTube stuff, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way, and you could listen to the podcast there.
Sweet.
But a couple good stand-up comedy recommendations I have for you. Because I'm going just with like random recs because I've got Affleck April planned out. Otherwise, these might have been recs, but... 3
things that you just want to get out of there.
Yeah, well, 3 comedians in the past 2 weeks, 2 of them were last Wednesday, put out specials on YouTube. And it's just amazing because stand-up comedians basically can just shoot their own thing and put it on YouTube now. To varying degrees of success. Some people do it, and it's just like, oh, you probably should have waited for someone to pay you for this before you spent all the money filming it.
I think you need a director.
You might want to it's not just like, oh, just because you can shoot it doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Not to belittle anyone that gets up on stage, because like both of us have done it. It's hard as shit.
It's hard
to
as
do.
hell. But it's also a completely different beast when you're recording it, because it's like recording a stage play. If you don't have like good angles or understand where the focus should be during something,
or acting for, it's acting for theater versus acting for film. Like to make it, come across on film is completely different.
Yes.
But 2 comedians that I really like, and one who I think it's his first special, a guy named Ryan Sickler, who has a great podcast called The Honeydew, where he interviews just people. It's a really great show. But he had his first one out called Lefty Son. That was great. My second favorite out of the 3 that I watched was, are you familiar with Big J. Okerson?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a special out called Dog Belly.
That guy,
fantastic.
I thought it was just crowd work.
Mostly, yeah. That's what he's kind of known for. And he was one of the, guys that could really sit down and do an hour of that. He did a double album of
I
just
think that's
crowd
something
work.
that I listened to.
Yeah, the crowd work albums.
Yeah.
And he can definitely do that. But this is, there's some crowd work involved, but it's also just bits and stuff.
He's a very sleazy guy.
He's that's kind of that Philadelphia dirtbag vibe that he kind of sits in, but it's great.
He can be funny. Yeah,
he's also just
I can enjoy that guy.
I'm a big fan. He's got a show on Sirius XM, and I really like listening to the guy, just because he's a good storyteller and good bullshit.
That's what he is. He's a really good storyteller, and his inflections are very funny when he finds something in somebody.
But I think my favorite one out of the 3 that I watched is comedian Kyle Kinane.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
He has a new one out called Shocks and Struts, which is just classic, true-to-form Kyle Kinane.
Well, that's wonderful.
He's one of those comedians where he's just so under the radar for some reason.
He's on a TV show on Netflix. He plays a cartoon dog. Oh, what the hell is it called? Paradise PD.
Yes.
Awful show. Just dog shit. Do not watch it. But Kyle Kinane's in it.
Well, Kyle Kinane also kind of plays into what we're going to be talking about first. Because Kyle Kinane now is the voice of Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah? He does the commercial breaks and stuff?
Coming up next on South Park.
Oh, wow.
It's Kyle Kinane.
Do you remember when Penn Jillette did it for Comedy Central?
Yeah. That was before the whoever's doing it for the Stella one. Because that was it was the Penn Jillette voice, and then it was this guy that's on the Stella.
I guess he's a comedian. I don't know.
Oh, man. I wonder if we could look that up.
That's interesting because you can hear Penn Jillette's voice when he's talking, and you're like, that's Penn and Teller.
And Kyle Kinane.
Teller is right there next to him.
Do you think Teller was doing
the recording
it too?
booth? Yeah.
Was Teller in the booth with Penn while he was recording it?
He's like, we'll let Teller do the next commercial breaks. I'm going to take a bathroom.
But yeah, Kinane does it, and he's one of the people that after you know it's him, whenever you hear that, you're just going to be like...
I'm going to have to listen out to it. He's saying coming up next is The Office, followed by Seinfeld. Over and over again. Poor guy.
Oh, apparently Kyle Kinane doesn't do it anymore.
Oh, my God. He already lost it.
Oh, well.
Easy come, easy
Kyle
go.
Kinane did it for a long time.
Nice.
But we've gotten way off topic ahead of time. So let's get into what we're talking about first, which is Jake's recommendation for me.
Yes, sir.
Which
Stella.
is Stella. A comedy series that was on Comedy Central for one whole season.
6 episodes.
10 episodes.
10 episodes?
It's 10 episodes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
I watched this multiple times. Could have swore it was only 6 episodes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not like a drawn out story.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's each episode is kind of
its own story.
If you put a gun to my head and ask me how many episodes were in the first season of Chappelle's Show, which I've watched multiple times, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But yes,
so it stars. You lead it off. This was your recommendation.
Sure. So it's got Michael Ian Black, Michael Showalter, and David Wayne in it as 3 guys who live together in an apartment, and they get into some crazy shenanigans each episode.
Yeah,
and the way I found it was I don't know, there was like a party at my house at some point, and it was a bonfire outside, and everybody was out there, and I didn't want to be with anybody, so I just came inside and just turned on Comedy Central.
Wait, the party was at your house?
Yeah. It was like a family thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you threw a party. And
I threw a party. I was like, get out of here.
Okay. So there was an event happening.
There's an event happening that I just wanted to get away from for a little while. And just went in, and the hunting episode of Stella was on.
Yes, great episode.
I just started watching that, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And so this was TiVo time, so I was like, just TiVo all Stella.
I miss the TiVo sound effects.
Boop, boop.
Yeah,
I don't know. They kind of drive you insane.
When the TiVo technology came out, I was just like, "Holy shit, we've reached peak." We should need
to go back to that.
Speaking of which, with me being baffled by technology, you remember? I think it was last week you talked about the art exhibit you went to and the art tech exhibit.
Yeah,
I got sent by my brother-in-law who listens to the podcast. He was just like, "Here's a video of that transparent touchscreen stuff," and it's like 11 years old, and I was like, "Holy shit." It's just one of those things where I'm just like, we had this 11 years ago. Why isn't it everywhere?
That's so funny. It's
Why isn't
expensive.
every window in my house a touch? Well, everything used to be expensive. Like I had a flat screen TV when I was like in my early 20s. I remember I moved in with my buddy, and he had a flat screen TV. It wasn't like a plasma TV.
Yeah.
It was probably 60 pounds
of
television that was maybe 4 inches thick.
Yeah, did it like taper off, like have an angle at the top?
But you could mount it on the wall.
That was a digital light projector.
Okay.
So that was a lot more expensive. That was a lot of technology.
But the thing is, it was on the wall, so that was high living back then. But it was also just super expensive. I remember my mom got like one of the first generation digital cameras, and it was like 2.6 megapixels, and I was like, well, that's real life. It'll never get better than that.
I'm looking at on a window in my hands.
But in like that was like, oh, you can hold up to 32 pictures at a time, and I was like, well, this is amazing. And those cost like $600-700 when they came out.
Yeah,
now they're super cheap.
Yeah,
so like,
that's true.
And I have touchscreen on my phone. Why don't I have touchscreen windows anymore?
I don't want a touchscreen window. What I would like is if they put it in a windshield, so that I don't have to look around. They could just put the GPS up on there.
Oh,
then they could just highlight the road that you're on to like, oh, this is the turn right here.
So you just want an Iron Man helmet?
Yes, basically. Of course. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like all the time. I never take it off. Yeah. I'm in a business meeting. And I'm like,
you're just gonna go full Mandalorian on
Jarvis, just record everything that everybody's saying.
I'm gonna fuck off. Play Stardew Valley on the screen.
Yeah, put up Stardew Valley on my left eye.
But so the state, you gave me the DVD box set.
Yes, Stella.
The state is
the state is where they met.
They came from the state, and if people don't know the state, they were around.
Yeah,
they had a show back in like MTV. The early 90s on MTV.
Yeah,
kind of like the state was one group, and then like Kids in the Hall was the other big sketch group around the time.
Yeah, they were like that.
The state had Thomas Lennon, Joe Latruglio, Ken Marino, and they eventually did Wet Hot American Summer, and then a bunch of people,
all these people did.
That basically the 3 guys that did Stella. Everyone else went off and did Reno 911.
Yeah.
And there was cross pollination between Reno 911 and
they
Stella
guest star
and vice
each way.
versa.
Yeah, there's a lot of indie comedians in this that you know, if you like followed comedy in 2006,
right,
you would understand these people
exactly. And then they would have like people that were big gets back then.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is in this thing.
I was saying like Paul Rudd back then. You're like, okay, Paul Rudd would do this. Like he wouldn't do something like that. Well, he might because he's dreamy.
Yeah,
but like back then, you're like, oh shit, they got Janine Garofalo doing it.
That's true. Edward Norton is showing up here.
Fucking unexpected Sam Rockwell in this.
Yes, that's true.
When he showed up, I was just like, hell yeah, Sam Rockwell.
As a
mustache.
Gary Meadows, the fake mustache salesman.
So yeah, the show was good. It was very
good,
absurdist.
This is probably my favorite television show of all time.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
This is probably the most influential thing to my comedy.
So I got to say, out of the two, you take this and you take Reno 911, which was also on Comedy Central. It was also people from the state.
Yeah.
I'm taking Reno.
That's insane. That's insane to me. This is like
it's no. It's
this
good.
is like sushi to your Kentucky Fried Chicken over there. All right.
Yeah.
I got a refined palate that deserves something like Stella.
I know, but Kentucky Fried Chicken is also delicious and great. And sushi's gross, and sometimes if they cut it wrong, you'll die.
Same thing with Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I guess, but it's less of a razor's edge on that one. But so yeah, I definitely.
I agree. Reno 911 is great. Like it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But like this thing influenced me like insane.
Oh, I definitely get that.
Yeah.
What it really reminded me of is something that actually the first episode is out right now, but I got to find a way to stream it. It's from Australia, Auntie Donna.
Yeah.
And Auntie Donna had a show
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, no. They have a new one that's just on ABC iView.
Hold on. I think my site
losing
just died. Hey, wow.
Fuck. Hold on. Restart.
Wow.
Okay. Now we're back.
There we are.
Oh, God. I can notice it better in my
Yeah, it
headphones.
sounds better in the headphones.
Jesus Christ. All right. So the first little bit was with a dying battery in my little caster thing. Wow, it does sound so much better. That first half is just unlistenable.
Oh, no. Are we starting over?
I mean, we kind of can.
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to start over. Maybe not. We might have a director's cut of this episode.
We'll just throw in a little bit of the whatever works from the first 15 minutes.
All right, so just in case I do decide to throw out the first part, which I don't know if I will. It might not make a difference, but fuck it.
We'll see. Yeah.
So, it's Up Your Alley. It's a podcast. My name's Taylor. That's Jake. Say hi, Jake.
I'm Jake.
We talk about things and we do stuff. No, I'm not going to keep it because I don't feel like fucking talking again. No offense.
we're just going to keep it.
We're doing it live.
All right,
I'll just fucking record it all. Okay, so we're in the middle of talking about the state.
We're talking about the state now.
Okay. Well, we're talking about Auntie Donna.
Yes.
Donna has a new show out on ABC, the Australian broadcast. Stop giggling.
It sounds so much better.
How did we go through?
That we didn't know.
It's like 15 minutes of just slowly getting sadder and worse.
Yeah. As soon as
we both kept fucking with our microphones. Like, is it me? I should have asked you because I was hearing it too. I was like, are my headphones plugged in all the way?
I was like, I'm just talking too close to the mic. I just need to back up from the mic, baby.
No. God
so
damn it.
Funny.
This is why we need a producer.
Funny.
Right,
yeah.
so now we have to leave. Fuck. All right. Let's
go ahead. Auntie Donna.
They have a new thing on ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation or company or whatever. But you can't watch it in America yet. We got to get it like a VPN or something.
You can get it at Walmart for free if you know someone at Walmart.
Really?
Go to the Walmart website. See if you can download it off of Walmart.
Are you serious?
No.
What are you doing?
Talking in code.
Oh.
Steal it from
Walmart. Okay. From the internet. Yeah, but it's like we had talked about before. It's one of those things where if the Australian broadcasting company's like, oh, give me, whatever $20 in Australia is over here, I'm like, okay, here, take it. Like, just let me have the thing I want to watch.
Yeah, it's weird that they just don't let you do it.
I did like Stella for the DVD set, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Wow.
I like the DVD. I found the Easter eggs.
I
found like the hidden sketch.
The hidden sketch that they
did with H. John Benjamin.
Right? Isn't that crazy that he showed up?
So, and I really miss having like the DVD thing. Honestly, if this was just like on Netflix and I was just like clicking it, it would probably play in the background and I wouldn't be super crazy.
I can understand that. I can actually understand that because yes, there's so much fun on these DVDs. It's crazy.
I'm starting to think, and I watched like they had their Comedy Central Presents, which was their half-hour thing. Yeah, which was. It was okay.
I liked it.
It wasn't great, but So I think Stella on the whole.
It's so funny that we get along so well because of comedy. Like that's what brought us together.
Yeah,
but our tastes like diverged just this little bit right here.
Yeah, so like we both like the state, but I'm a
you went
Reno 911
when I went Stella.
Yeah.
And even though they're like both the same things, it's like hot dogs and hamburgers
it's
right
like,
here.
It's like Wilco and Sunvolt.
What's a Sunvolt?
Wilco.
I know Wilco.
Yeah, so the guys from Wilco and the guys from Sunvolt used to be in a band called Uncle Tupelo. And then they broke up, and then some of them did Wilco and some of them did Uncle Tupelo.
Okay, yeah.
It's good.
And you can see that there's an amazing amount of talent in both groups.
For sure.
David Wayne is the guy that made Wet Hot American Summer.
He is.
And the state, I mean...
And he's done other great... Like, he's... As a director, he's fantastic. Michael Ian Black also, he had a stand-up album that I used to have that was great.
Michael Ian Black has a book, an autobiography, that was actually fantastic.
Really?
Yes.
What's it called?
I cannot remember.
Huh,
He's written 3 books now, but his first one was an autobiography, and it was, I don't know, it just starts off talking about how he was sleeping in the same room as his brother, but his brother, like, would stop breathing in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So he would just be a nervous wreck every night, waiting to hear his brother just take a huge gasp and inhale.
It's awesome.
It was so weird. It was great, though. It was a really good book.
He's got books called You're Not Doing It Right and A Better Man.
A Better Man. That's his new one about being a dad. I got to read that one.
He's also got a bunch of other stuff in here. But,
I really like his idea of masculinity.
David Wayne did Role Models, Wanderlust, which was great, and they came together. Did you see that?
Yes, of course. And he did the 10 as well. You haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I think I have.
That movie's great as well.
Based on all the 10 Commandments, right?
Yep.
Yes, I have.
A sketch for each commandment.
So yeah, I mean, I got to say, I'm going to give this one.
Yeah.
It's between a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll give it a 3 just because I had the physical medium.
That's so sweet.
If it was just watching it somewhere,
it's pretty magical that it's a DVD.
It's
like honestly true.
I brought my PlayStation 4 down here. Yeah. I don't have a DVD player.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Because I have my Switch down here. So
I see. Oh, good. PlayStation 4 down here, PlayStation 5 upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
You got your PlayStation 5 controller down here.
That's a PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Oh, it's just white. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, man, we got the technology. We got all colors of controllers.
Oh, my God.
And by that, I mean black, red, and white.
Yeah, I wish they would put this much attention into the home packaging.
I was kind of shocked you can't find that anywhere. Like, I was thinking when you said it's not streaming anywhere, and I saw it's Comedy Central, I'm like, it's got to be on Paramount Plus. They have like all sorts of. No. There's a mountain of content on Paramount Plus. That's their slogan. It's terrible.
Oh God, no! They say that.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's pretty bad. Because their logo is the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Doesn't mean you have to say it.
You gotta just say.
No,
we're paramounting the.
Where are you going with that?
I'm thinking fertile beast
competition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good.
I find it hilarious.
I know you do. I definitely saw a lot of your sense.
The hunting episode is something that really caught my mind.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson's in it. They freak out because a goat is attacking them.
Right.
And
it's like, I think with a lot of things that we've recommended here, if you don't like it, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he freaks out, and Tim Blake Nelson comes out of nowhere, and he says, "They mean no harm, Elisha." And shoos the goat away.
Yeah.
And then they go turkey hunting with him, and then the three guys are together. And they're like, "Oh, Mike, there's a turkey right over there." And he takes out a handgun. And I don't know why it's so funny that it's a handgun, but he just shoots. And he shoots Tim Blake Nelson instead.
Yeah.
He goes, "I thought it was a turkey. I swear to God."
It's very absurdist.
I loved it.
Very funny.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you for making. I'm sure I've seen like parts of episodes.
I would take
of this.
it too.
Yeah.
I would take it too.
All right.
I understand.
Then I think I'm going to have to give you 2.
I understand.
All right.
Because, yeah, this is a good look into my taste.
It is.
Of irreverent comedy.
Yeah, it's a 2 for me because I enjoyed it, but it's not like I'm going to tell everyone else you need to watch Stella.
Yeah, I feel like I can bring you to a ridiculous movie now.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would enjoy it.
Well, I mean, you showed me like the Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. That was pretty absurd.
You see,
but this was more absurdist, and Garth Marenghi was a sincere parody.
Yes,
where there was absurd things happening, but it was a sincere parody of an absurd show because it was like a sci-fi show. Mm-hmm. But the people they were playing were very serious,
very legit, and
like
this thing is playing off of zany moments.
Yeah,
you throw a bologna sandwich into Janine Garofalo's face, and then she is distracted for a good 2 minutes.
Yes,
yeah, I like that.
Things like that, and I mean, it just kind of dragged on a little bit for me. Their Comedy Central Presents was not very good.
I can't remember it. It's been so long since I've seen it.
It wasn't very good.
That's sad. You hate to hear it.
All right, let's go with a 2 for that. So now we're going to get into what I have for you, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Which is the director's cut of the 2003 film Daredevil.
All right. So
the director's cut. It's week 2 of All Affleck April.
That's
very
true.
important. I wanted to give you a good Affleck hero, and I was torn between a couple things.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't even bring up the Batman.
No, not the Batman per se, but I mean, Batman v Superman's great, but I know you've already seen it and you've already formed your opinions on that. I'm not going to be able. You've not seen Batman v Superman?
No, I haven't seen any of the DC movies. I've seen Wonder Woman 84.
Okay,
and I did not like it.
Wasn't good.
I watched it Christmas because it came out on Christmas, and we watched it as a family. And us as a family said, "This is bad."
It is.
And then I could not sit through Man of Steel. And I could not sit through Suicide Squad.
See, now I'm starting to think I should have picked Batman.
No, you should absolutely not.
But so it was Batman v Superman. I was thinking maybe Armageddon.
I've already seen that.
I know, but it could be revisited.
I wouldn't change my mind.
Paycheck was also up there for another one. Have you seen Paycheck?
Is that about the boy that gets a check?
No, that's Blank Check. Do you think that boy was Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
And you somehow forgot?
That was a young Ben Affleck.
But I picked Daredevil, and I specifically picked the director's cut of Daredevil.
So
this is a 2003 film. This was, it came out on the heels of Spider-Man, I think, was 2002 or 2001. It has to have been
relatively recent.
X-Men was like 1999, 2000. It was like X-Men came out, Spider-Man came out, and they're like, what else could we do?
I feel a lot of Spider-Man in it, and I feel a lot of The Matrix in it.
Well, The Matrix came out in 99. Everything was a little bit Matrix. That's actually in my notes. I took notes. I rewatched it this morning.
You could tell that this movie is sopping in 2000s because everybody was
wearing...
And that's
before the soundtrack.
Everybody's wearing tight T-shirts with ridiculously bulging leather coats.
You're just talking about Bullseye. And he was great. So, this is... like, this movie really has a soft spot in my heart because it was the first time I ever saw... I never... This is the one where I thought that comics... As a high schooler watching this, I'm like, they could make comics movie characters out of anybody. I'm like, they made a friggin' Daredevil movie. I can't believe it. They made Spider-Man, and at the time, there wasn't a Spider-Man thing. Everything was animated, and Spider-Man was amazing. But X-Men kind of made sense because X-Men was popular. It had the
X-Men and Spider-Man are like the big.
Spider-Man's
Marvels.
always been popular. X-Men had the ridiculously popular animated series all throughout the 90s.
Same with Spider-Man. Yeah.
And you had Spider-Man video games, but there was no like
There's
Daredevil
nothing big
video game
that you can latch on about Daredevil.
Daredevil would be in things like Daredevil was in one of the.
He was with Spider-Man.
He was in the Trial of Incredible Hulk in live action.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a Bruce Bixby, Eric Bana Hulk made for TV movie.
Oh wow!
Daredevil was in it.
Eric Bana?
No, not Eric Bana. Bruce. What the fuck's his name? Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, okay.
Lou Ferrigno.
Okay.
Hulk. Eric Bana was the other Hulk.
Yeah,
but,
I was like surprised that he.
He was in like
back
the black
Bruce Banner.
The black ninja Daredevil costume in that. But after I saw this, I was like, wow, they can do anybody.
Yeah.
And eventually, now we're waiting on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to come out. So, they can do anybody. But this was like the first one where I feel like they really branched off. They picked one of my favorite actors, Ben Affleck, probably close to my favorite actor.
Maybe.
But,
I mean, you dedicated a whole month to him.
I had to.
So I would say
I had to,
at least Mount Rushmore.
I had to make a point. Yes.
Okay.
Because you have preconceived notions about him. So, let's just go through the movie.
All right.
I love it. What'd you think?
You son of a bitch.
I did it, didn't I?
You asshole.
I did it.
You fucker.
Why are you so upset, Jake?
He is so goddamn charming this entire fucking movie.
Isn't he, though?
He is so
Isn't he the best?
Charming.
Isn't he the best?
It
has no reason to be good.
So, when Matt Murdock was a kid, right, and he gets his powers, right, he starts getting that little smirk
the story
when he's talking
behind
to
that?
people.
The ooze powers?
Yeah.
It's also the ooze that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
People might not know that.
Oh, everybody knows that.
Not everybody knows
Every
that.
single person that listens to this podcast knows that.
No, because I know people that listen to this podcast. They definitely don't know what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles even were.
So let's go on a brief tangent here. There were 4 turtles that were in the New York City sewers, and the ooze that got into the eyes of Matt Murdock were also
dripped down in the sewers.
Dripped out into the sewers that got onto these turtles, and also a rat or a Japanese martial arts master, depending on if you are watching the cartoon or the movie. Because in the cartoon, he's the martial arts master. In the movie, he's just a rat that watched his martial arts master.
God, that was great in the 1991 movie. Rats doing like little ninja kicks.
Can we just keep talking about that? No, I want to get back into this. So,
okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is great.
Yes, it was great. Watch that movie. It's fantastic. It's still fantastic.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out.
I
called
can't.
like Mutant Mayhem or something like that.
I'm gonna go insane talking about
Fair
TMNT.
All right. We'll have a month for them.
That would be great. Okay. Daredevil.
All right.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful Matt Murdock.
Yes.
He, like I was saying, when he was a kid, he just gets this smirk on him because he knows.
Yeah, even the child actor kind of picked up that Ben Affleck.
Well, it was a cute
look.
Yeah, it was a cute little smirk that he gets when he's talking to somebody that's picking on him, and he knows that he can just beat the shit out of him.
Right.
And he's like, all right, I'll trail you along a little bit.
That kid that was picking on him
character.
was Robert Eiler.
Yeah, right.
He's AJ Soprano.
Yeah, right.
And this was his last film role.
Wow.
That popped up on the IMDb trivia. It was like, last film role for Robert Eiler. I was like, there's no way that's true. Apparently he did Sopranos, and then he was just like, I'm done.
It is so funny watching children get beat up in a kung fu style.
While wearing sunglasses.
It's the funniest thing
Just
watching a
kicking
kid
ass.
flip and kick another child, an obese child,
He's
into the
not
garbage.
Obese.
There's one obese child that screams and runs at him.
He wears husky pants, but we wouldn't call him an obese child.
So funny.
Yeah.
But it was the entire time I was watching it, I was having a great time.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
You can't not do it.
He is such a good Matt Murdock.
He's great Matt Murdock.
It is amazing how good he is at Matt Murdock.
This is one
Charlie Cox is my chosen Matt Murdock.
Yes.
But if they were like, we're doing another Daredevil, Ben Affleck's going to do it again.
Yeah.
I want to say, I want to watch that movie.
If they did like an old man Daredevil, like they did a Logan movie, and they put Ben Affleck back in here as like haggard Matt Murdock.
Yeah, like
I think in the comics right now, I think Matt Murdock is mayor of New York City.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I think that's
a
the
weird
current.
choice.
You know how Marvel gets with their continuity,
Yeah,
but I
that's true.
think in the current Marvel continuity, he's the mayor of New York.
So I really like the idea of him just like really leaning into lawyer.
Right,
And
which
being
is
like, I'm making a difference, and then he realizes that he's no longer making a difference as an old man, so he's like, I got to put on the old garb and get back out there.
So one of the main things I was added in this one's one of the reasons I got you to watch the director's cut, besides it just being objectively better, is it does lean into the whole like subplot with Coolio, who's his client.
Yes.
Coolio isn't playing somebody. It's not, hey, your client's Coolio.
Coolio is the
He's
actor.
wrongfully accused of murder, he thinks,
Yeah.
but the guy apparently got so high, woke up in an alley with a gun. But he swears he didn't do it. Matt Murdock can do his little human lie detector test. Most of that, like 98%, that was cut.
That was
The whole subplot.
They cut out most of Coolio?
I think almost all of Coolio.
That is an insane choice.
It's been a while since I've seen the theatrical version, but
I'm never going to watch the theatrical version.
You shouldn't. It was not good. They wanted to trim it down.
Holy cow.
Right.
Because that was amazing.
So most of the legal stuff, like the whole,
Also,
there's a great little scene with John, and that's another thing. John Favreau in this movie is Foggy Nelson.
Great Foggy Nelson.
Yeah. And who would have thought, like, now
like
that guy's running Star Wars, basically. I just watched The Mandalorian, and it's just, like, written or created by John Favreau. I'm like, fucking good for you, man.
I don't like the incompetent type of Foggy Nelson
No.
that he plays. I like the push hard Foggy Nelson that he is, but he's also like, I need Matt Murdock, where Foggy is like, no, like, we need money, Matt, and that's what he plays really well in.
They do that really well in the Netflix/now Disney Plus series, too. That guy who was in Mighty Ducks Kid, Bash Brother, that plays Foggy Nelson now.
He's wonderful.
What I really like about...
That's also my fagness.
Their relationship, Foggy and Matt, which is really
good,
integral in the comics. And Karen's in it a little bit, but she's not the Karen that
doesn't
we
play
all know.
She's clever and she's supportive,
but
but she's not integral.
Right. You could tell if they probably made a sequel, there would have been a little more Karen in it.
But what they did was legit make just a comic book movie. Yeah. They weren't going for this grandeur type of, universe or anything. They made a fun comic book story with
before everything had to be connected to other shit.
Before anything had to be so serious that it was like, troubling sometimes. Yeah. Being a little corny and a little zany, that's really fun. Bullseye, Colin Farrell is having the time of his fucking life.
It's like 3 weeks in a row now we've talked about people eating scenery while they're acting. It's
the best thing that movies can do.
It's the first time in an American film he's used his real voice.
Really?
It's just like, he'll be Irish and just like knock it out. And he just blatantly kills people. Like he kills a guy in a pub and everyone's just staring around looking at him. Then he kills an old lady on a plane by flicking a peanut into her mouth and making her choke.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
He was having an awesome time. And, like, Bullseye is a weird character.
Yes.
He's like a Joker-esque type guy where he's just like a loose cannon. You can't really tell what he's going to do.
Right.
But he plays him as more as a, like, I don't know, like a showboat. Like, he really likes to show off that he can do whatever he wants.
Points at his scar on his forehead. That's a bullseye. He's like, bullseye.
All the time.
Look at that.
And he's just,
It's like a...
He's
like
more
a
into
weird
the idea that
Chris
he can
Angel
do
mind
anything.
freak magician style outfit that he's got going on.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. That fight in the bar when after the first trial.
Oh, when Daredevil was tracking down the was he a rapist, right? Something
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
Yes. He was tracking him down. And
Guy got off on a
all those
technicality
guys.
and beat the crap out of everybody.
Yes. All those guys. A-shirts,
Yep.
oversized leather trench coats.
Yep.
All of them.
Yeah.
They all went like, hey, bro, you ever see that Matrix movie? Yeah, I saw it, dude. What are you talking about? Look at the duster. That's what they were talking about until Daredevil showed up.
What else did I have in my notes here?
I'll give you this.
Oh, hair color was great.
Yes. Yes, it
It
was.
was a little red.
Yeah.
But it looked like comic booky red, where it's like they wouldn't draw his hair bright red. It was like
Yeah.
black.
Black
and you would
with
see, like,
the red highlight
lines
through
on
it. Mm-hmm.
I wanted that hair color so badly in 2003. When I saw that, I was just like, why can't I do that? And then, foolishly, someone allowed me to dye my hair in Florida, and it did not look like Ben Affleck's hair, but I really wanted Ben Affleck's hair in this movie. But
I agree. His hair color was a really good choice because it wasn't distracting. But then when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's
when
Matt
the light
Murdock
hits
right
it
here.
just right, you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, perfect.
That's Matt Murdock. Like, he made a really good Matt Murdock. He slept in a goddamn pool, which was stupid. But
Well,
that's a comic book.
It's a deprivation tank, so he can't hear anything. He can't do anything like that.
You can't sleep in that.
It's his only way he can shut down.
You can't sleep.
It's the only way
You're
you
gonna
can
wake
shut
up
down.
all pruny, man.
I know.
But again, what I'm going to
I didn't
say-
think about that. Then how is he? It's probably hard to read things if your fingers are pruny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then again, it's also a comic book movie.
You might have just
where
made
it's
me
not
hate this
going
movie.
like we're basing this in reality. They're like, this is a Daredevil comic.
So that's kind of the weird thing that I think some movies, comic book movies, overdo.
Yeah.
Where, like, everything has to be realistic. Like some people
Grounded-
try to do it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between this is not so much grounded. It's not as grounded as I would say like Dark Knight
It's not
is.
that grounded at all, I would say.
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of jumping and flips, but no one's like shooting laser beams or anything like that.
Yeah. I didn't like Jennifer Gardner as Elektra.
You know what? She uses her size completely incorrectly.
What do you mean?
Going back to Ninja Turtles, she has like I'm a Raphael.
Oh,
guy.
her size. Oh, yeah. She.
no, not SIZE, SAIS.
I thought you were like her size. I was like, okay, explain.
You gotta throw that body weight around, Jennifer Garner.
You give it Hulk into that tiny frame.
Her size. She holds them and she grips with the points going through, but she like covers over the guard.
Gonna block
and
it.
the whole point of that is so if someone's coming at you with a sword, you can shove that up there and catch their sword.
Yeah.
But she has her fingers there where their sword would just come down and like slice her finger off.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
What?
That's a martial art tactic, bud.
Is that a
You
martial?
can do that. Yeah, of course. If you're coming at somebody that doesn't have a sword, you don't have
How
to
do
be
you know
all
people
like,
don't have swords?
I want to just, make sure I protect myself against a sword. You're going to be like, I want to punch the bastard.
All right,
But I
so-
also want to make sure a knife goes into him at the
So,
same time.
I find it hard to believe that it's a martial arts tactic, considering the only training or anything we see that she has is fighting sandbags that fall down from the ceiling. Someone has to set those up. Elektra's the worst part of this movie. Nothing against Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner's an amazing actress.
Wonderful person. Yes.
And she drove Ben
choice
Affleck
for
to
Elektra.
rehab that one time.
Yeah, wonderful person, great actress.
It was just poorly written.
Bad Elektra choice.
Yeah.
No, I love that part when the Evanescence was starting up.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there clapping, and I'm like, it's happening. It's
one
happening.
Of one of two Evanescence songs. That's actually the second Evanescence drop in
Yes,
this
it
movie. They play the other song at the funeral.
All the music is so bad.
It's I had been there baby. In when they show up at the bar, or when they first show Bullseye in the pub, they start playing "Luck of the Irish" by House of Pain. I was like, we're really jamming this home. It's like, how can we say America and Ireland at the same?
When they show Michael Clark Duncan,
they play "Lap Dance" by NERD.
I'm an outlaw.
Yeah, but in the fight when Bullseye kills Elektra's dad, they play the song "The Man Without Fear" by Rob Zombie, which the chorus of that song is just Rob Zombie screaming, "Come on, come on, come on, come on, Daredevil." It's so fucking good.
God damn it. It's having a lot of fun. Oh, during the sandbag scene, all I can picture is like 4 or 5 old butlers in the rafters. It's like, drop them now, Sam. And then he's like,
she's spinning this way.
Oh, no.
And it's like, or she tells him, like, hey, guys, I hate when you're doing the sandbags, do you mind if the last one you could draw a little devil face on it so I could stab it?
Madam, I drew devil face on this one. That's great, Javier.
Do I need to do this again? Yeah. I'm going to slice that open,
Shall
and
I
then
go
I
up
need
on
you
the
to
roof?
I need you to sweep up all this sand, and then redo all the bags.
Don't use the vacuum on that because you're just going to break it. So I need you on your hands and knees.
I hate to be a nudge about this, but it's hardwood. It's going to get into the cracks. You're really going to have to try to get something going on.
That's just not my Electra.
I understand.
I think it's a fine Electra.
Yeah. If you're putting a name on this where like you need a love interest / someone, yeah, you get Jennifer Garner.
But like,
it's fantastic.
Daredevil's one of my favorite superheroes.
Yeah.
You know, he's not. Yeah, I'll say he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite Marvel superheroes. That's
no
for
one's
sure.
going to hold. This isn't legally
Don't.
binding.
All right, nobody put me up against the wall and ask me. But I love Daredevil.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm one of those guys that's going to be like, oh, Daredevil would never do that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Daredevil would totally do all the shit that he does in this movie. He fucking kills people.
Yes,
Just straight up.
First guy the guy he chases down out of court throws him in front of a train.
Yeah.
Cuts him in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just laughs at him the whole time.
It's heavily
He gives him a
implied.
one-liner.
It wasn't like he was like, "Oh, I hope you stay down there," and then a train came and hit the guy later. He watched it.
No, he was there, and he was like,
He watched it. He saw a man get cut in half, and then went, "Good. I'm going to go back to my tank and try to sleep this one off."
He saw a man cut in half with a train,
Yeah.
turned around with lighter fluid, and wrote 2 big D's
That's right, because he had to do that afterwards.
on the ground. And then he went back up, and he's like, somebody's going to find that?
And he didn't go down there with the lighter fluid,
He had to go.
so he had to find
He
lighter
went to
fluid
a bodega.
before anyone else got into this New York City subway station. Which, granted,
Yeah.
I'm just in a basement in Virginia, but I feel like by the time you have to run out, find lighter fluid in the middle of the night in New York City, and then get back, someone else would have been like, "Hey, there's half a dude here."
If I wrote JB after I killed somebody in
Yeah.
this town, I'd be like, Jake killed somebody.
Yeah. It's like, who's this devil? It's like, oh, they called my dad the devil.
They called me the Daredevil when I was a kid. Oh, wait.
Wait, hold on. But
he also, because, like, he even talks about how, like, I'm not the monster.
Yeah.
That was a great point.
I'm not the bad guy.
He's like, I'm not the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, Bullseye kills a lot of people.
Yep.
And then he just gets the opportunity to kill the shit out of them. So he throws him out a fucking window, and he's like,
Yes.
You're
For
dead.
all intents and purposes, should have killed him.
yeah, he's like, you're dead. I killed you. And then he had an opportunity to kill Kingpin, and he's like, nah, I'm not that guy.
So,
That's
Kingpin we
my
haven't
Matt
talked about.
Murdock. He's a human being that will do human being things, just augmented.
They also got into a little bit more of the Catholic stuff in the director's cut, like a
Good.
little bit more.
Good.
Of that stuff,
They really
which
do
is-
need to lean into
it's
that.
Big into the character, like
Yeah,
basically
it's big into the character.
He's
I'm not a Catholic guy, but that's a big part of Matt Murdock.
If you had to put like Matt Murdock's main traits, it would be like blind, lawyer, Catholic, drunk.
yes,
Like those are and a bit of a fucking ladies' man.
yeah, little man, ladies man, pretty good lawyer.
Pretty good. I said lawyer. Second.
Oh yeah, that was your
But,
second thing.
yeah.
Fifth superhero.
We haven't talked about Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin yet.
Scene stealer.
Fantastic.
He needs more time. I had no idea his scenes were so short.
Yes, he's
I
not in it
definitely-
for long, but he's.
I definitely thought he was in it for longer,
Yeah,
but he was such a fantastic Kingpin.
he was great.
He just he runs away with it.
Funny story about Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin.
What's that?
You know, he had to. Are you familiar with an apple box? What an apple box is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you stand on?
Little things that people have to stand on so they're taller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan, big guy, so acting with him is kind of difficult. Michael Clark Duncan had to stand on an apple box.
For
He's only 6'5". Ben Affleck's 6'3". So to make the Kingpin look more intimidating
I
than
see
Ben
what you're
Affleck,
saying.
yeah,
Wow.
that's how awesome Ben Affleck is. We're gonna hire the biggest person we could think of in Hollywood, and apparently Michael Clark Duncan wasn't like the first choice. They screen tested a bunch of like wrestlers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like actual giant, like Andre the Giant size guys.
That's
They're like, yeah, they
interesting.
can't do it.
Yeah,
but
because
Michael
you
Clark
need a good
Duncan's-
actor.
He's fantastic. In
Yeah.
this. So
You need somebody that can really put in a character into the Kingpin like he did.
a couple things real quick. Kevin Smith's in this. Always love seeing Kevin Smith.
It's fine.
He's great.
It wasn't as distracting as I expected it to be.
I had to pause because when they first show Kevin Smith's like a labs tech in
Yeah.
the police department or something like that, or the morgue.
Yeah.
And he's talking
A medical
to,
examiner.
He's talking to Ben Urich, who's played by Joe Pantoliano, and that's a great character too.
Great.
Reporter Ben Urich. And he's typing something
Great
into
casting.
a message
Yeah.
board, and I was watching it down here. If I was watching it on my phone, I wouldn't notice, but I was watching on this TV. I was like, "What's that?" And I paused it, and he's responding to someone in the message board, and he says, "I'll drop you like a 3-year-old corpse's testicles." And I was just like,
what the?
Was that the script, or was that Kevin
That's
Smith?
Kevin Smith.
It has to be.
That's Kevin Smith letting his wife write his Twitter.
Don't Google Kevin Smith and his wife and his Twitter.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, don't.
Oh, yes, you do. It's the best thing that Twitter's ever created. Also, Google Kevin Smith jorts. If you're ever feeling bad. If you're
Have you
ever
seen
having
Kevin
a bad
Smith
day,
now? He looks fantastic. He's vegan, and he's just like
the
in
thing
shape
is,
and 50.
The man wear the biggest pants of jorts
Are you
I've
talking
ever
about that
seen.
picture where he's pumping gas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like an inch above his ankle.
It's so close to just being jeans.
Jinkos.
But
They'd be
you
old
can-
Jinkos.
But you can look at them, and they're clearly jorts.
Yes.
Oh, it's
They're
the
fantastic.
best picture. You have to look it up.
So
Make you feel better on a rainy day.
the first scene where Elektra and Daredevil fight in the playground,
Yes.
that's a fantastic scene.
First time I watched it as a kid, I was annoyed because I was like, you're watching these people flip around and nobody's doing anything. And now I'm watching it, and I was like, these people are fighting. This is fun.
Can I put it into context with you? What
Yes,
it
of
is?
course.
It's Wesley versus Inigo in The Princess Bride. It's their sword fight where both of them are holding back to see
Yeah.
what the other person can
Okay.
do. When you look at it like that, and Ben Affleck even does the thing where he tosses his cane up in the air and like
Yeah.
stands, does a pose, and then just catches it.
I like when
I just noticed that
he
today.
bounces up and down like there's weight to it.
Yeah, I just noticed that watching it this morning. I was like, it's The Princess Bride. It's I know something you don't know.
When
I
was
am
a
not
kid-
left-handed.
Well,
It's so great.
When I was a kid, I thought it was, just too showy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too big.
Yeah.
People would be like,
What? Get off the seesaws?
the news would be like, 2 martial artists go fucking crazy at a playground.
Can't do that nowadays. Kids would be putting it on their TikToks.
Exactly. But now I'm watching it. I'm like, this is really fun. Like, this fight is pretty damn fun.
The other thing, I noticed this today. There were 2 things with the last bit. They have what we talked about earlier with the sandbags and the whatnot. That's interspersed with Evanescence and Daredevil getting ready.
Yeah.
And it's like the cliche superhero things.
You
You see like the belt going across, and
Yeah.
you see the
zoom in
the
on the
mask
hat.
coming down
Yeah.
and everything like that.
I called it a hat.
But it's a cowl. Like
Yeah.
that would have. But when he's going to fight Kingpin's doing the exact opposite. He's taking off his cufflinks.
Yeah.
He's taking like off his shirt
That's
and everything.
true.
So you see him, and he's just in like suspenders and
He's
an A
shedding
shirt and
off of
everything.
his
right. So when Daredevil's
his
going out to
business
fight,
acumen.
he has to put all these things on. When Kingpin's ready to fight, he's like, "All right, this is the real me."
Yeah.
He's like,
Because
just the shots of
he
him
even
like
says-
taking off his cufflinks and
Yeah,
stuff.
he-
He's like, "I grew up in the Bronx."
Yeah, he says, I'm from the Bronx. You would not
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's
Like,
really
just-
good Kingpin. It's really good Matt Murdock.
One move that I love that I rewound and watched twice, which if you can find just the Kingpin Daredevil fight from this, it's great.
Yeah.
They have like the rain that comes in at the end because everything was wet in the
That's
early
something that I
2000s.
needed to say is
Yeah.
the way that they show how Matt sees the
The
world.
echolocation, like
Yeah.
Dark World thing.
It looks great.
It does.
They did a really good job.
It holds up. There's some CGI in this that doesn't look great when they're doing like
CGI
panning
looks
shots.
awful. During
Like-
the organ fight with
And the
Bullseye.
jumps. Like when people are jumping, it's
Real
very
bad.
like wire worky, like
But it's
Crouching
okay.
Tiger
I'm
nonsense.
having fun.
But
But when Elektra gets stabbed,
yeah.
like he sees people by their heartbeat, and now you're watching her heartbeat fade away.
Yeah.
And that is like, oh,
Or at the wedding where he's
That's
like,
horrible.
It starts raining and he could like see her at,
Yeah.
or not the wedding, the funeral,
No, at
and then she
their-
puts up the umbrella so you
Yeah.
can't see her anymore. You're just like, oh,
wow, they're
a
using
shitty thing
these
to do,
things so
Elektra.
effectively. You know? Oh,
My favorite bit in the final fight, though, which the thing I rewound like twice, Kingpin picks Daredevil up and like holds him above his head like fucking Hulk
I
Hogan
already
does with
know.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And he's holding him over a table, and you think, oh, he's going to smash him down on the table. But instead, he throws him up to the ceiling. And it's just like, I've never seen, like, what a
Yep.
great way to show.
my favorite thing was
That was a
after-
show don't tell.
Yeah.
It's like, how big is this guy? He's taking off his shirts because
Yeah.
he knows he's getting in a fight. He doesn't want to mess him up. And then he holds him above his head and then still has the strength to throw him up against the ceiling another 3 feet and then have him crash down.
My favorite thing was right after that move, he grabs him by the belt and he throws him like a stack of newspapers
Yeah.
into the wall.
Yeah.
You see him stumble and everything,
Although-
and he's like, God damn it!
Maybe it's something about just getting old, though, but the way Daredevil takes him out with that backwards knee kick where he kicks both of his knees backwards. I felt that viscerally. Like, I felt my knees. Like,
I felt that when he was getting out of his deprivation tank.
Yeah.
They show his knees up close to show the scars and stuff.
Yeah.
And they give you the cracks of
That's
the cartilage while he's getting up.
Good old man stuff.
The sound design is something that you should pay attention to if you're making a movie about a blind man, and they did so very well, I would have to say.
And apparently they had, like, because I watched the behind-the-scenes stuff and everything, too.
Wow.
Because... I don't know. I love behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, of course. They seem to have a bunch of features in this thing.
They did.
I'm actually kind of
That's why I
excited
gave you
to
the
watch this
Blu-ray.
thing.
Go home and watch
Again.
it. They had like a blind consultant, like a dude who was blind.
Oh, cool.
Who, like, you see him when he's getting ready in the morning. He takes like a $10 bill and folds it one way, and he takes a $5 bill and folds it the other way.
Uh-huh.
And like that's all real stuff.
Those are all in envelopes that are already on Braille to
right.
tell them that these are
tips
$10,
and tricks for how
$5.
blind people get around the city. Also, Stan Lee cameo when he's walking around as a kid, and then Daredevil like throws out his cane to like stop Stan Lee from crossing the street. I'm like, fuck, there he is.
There we go.
My best Affleck moment. What's your best Affleck moment for this? Because that's something we're doing all Affleck April. We did it in Argo.
You go ahead while I contemplate.
It's something you alluded to earlier with just how charming he is. It's when he first goes over and meets Elektra, and he asks if she could borrow some honey. She's like, it's right there. He's like, would you mind handing it to me? She's like, what are you? And it's like, blind. And he like, catches her, and he gives her that little Affleck smile. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then Foggy fucks up because he drank coffee that had mustard in it.
Yeah.
And his line delivery on his next line is great. Elektra says, friend of yours? And he goes, I've never seen him. So
holy
fucking great.
God damn it. So
I love Affleck.
I would have to give my Affleck moment. Oh, shit. You know what?
What?
I would probably give it to when he's at the church.
Which time? He goes to church a lot.
So the one that they flash forward to at the beginning, and they come through and
like right towards the end before he fights Bullseye again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit. I can't even remember exactly what he said, but what he said to the priest.
Oh, where he's like, is there a back door out of here?
Yeah. Right before that, because there were shit. He was like, you're gonna kill yourself doing these things, and he's like, like something cool, like not yet. Damn it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite moment. I can't even remember.
Oh, is that where he goes like, not today, Father? Something like that. It's fucking great.
No, yes, when he was doing the confessional thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's nothing that I haven't heard. Doing this for 20 years, there's nothing in this confessional that I haven't heard. And he said, let's keep it that way. Wow. You've done things, sir.
What are you giving?
It gets a 3. Absolutely. Yes. Are you kidding me?
3.
The Blu-ray itself. You need this Blu-ray. The director's cut.
You need the director's
Daredevil.
cut. Do not go see the theatrical cut of Daredevil. It's not good. It's on HBO right now, though.
Coolio was so much fun.
Charming.
John Favreau is a great Foggy Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Mark Clark Duncan was amazing.
Clark Duncan is pinnacle Kingpin.
Yeah.
And
although
then
Vincent D'Onofrio is pretty great.
Vincent D'Onofrio is my Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because I think that stuff is the greatest Daredevil stuff.
Yeah.
But this
I'm
movie...
not going to argue with this that this is better than the first 2 seasons of the Charlie Cox Daredevil, and I hope they got something cooking great.
I really do. Me too.
I like Charlie Cox in Spider-Man No Way Home, and Spider-Man in She-Hulk as well when he shows up.
That's super fucking good. But this Daredevil is worth watching.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I have the Blu-ray. I can make people watch it now.
I will say this.
Thank you so much for the gift.
You're welcome. Ben Affleck is one of the reasons that that we got Charlie Cox, because
How do you mean?
he didn't want to do the sequel. They made a sequel 2 years later about Elektra called Elektra.
I remember.
Garbage.
It sounds like
it's just garbage. It was rushed.
No
it wasn't good. And again,
Jennifer
nothing about anyone involved in that. It was studio pressure.
Everybody
Let's put it
Jennifer
out because Ben Affleck wouldn't do a sequel.
Uh-huh.
And then after Elektra bomb, they're like, "Oh, you want to come back and do another sequel?" And he's like, "I'm not going to do a sequel." So Fox just let the rights lapse. Like they had the chance. Like it's one of those things in Hollywood where you have to make something.
Yeah.
That's why they made the Fantastic Four movie with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. It's because they had to make it, otherwise the rights would have lapsed back to Marvel.
You didn't even go with the Roger Corman one.
Well, that one as well. I'm talking about I'm not just talking to you, Jake. There are microphones here. We're going to other people. So they were just like, you know what? No one's going to make another Daredevil thing. Just let it lapse back to Marvel. And then Marvel gave it to Netflix.
You're giving this to Ben Affleck. That's very cute of you.
I'm going to say Ben Affleck's the reason we have your favorite Daredevil thing. So, yeah.
You are...
So I'll take it.
Yes, it's a 3. Yes. It's
Fuck yeah. That's an even 50 points for me.
When I was a kid, I didn't enjoy it because I thought it was corny.
Right.
Now that I'm older and I can enjoy movies for what they are.
Well, this movie came out when we were both in our mid-teens.
2003?
Like, it's hard to like
when I
anything.
was an angsty fucking teen. Exactly. I was so mad at stuff.
The only thing we liked back then are things that were like, everything's bullshit. And you're like, yeah, you're right, it is bullshit.
No, I like pandamovies.com. That was 5-second porno clips. That's right.
Jeez.
That's it.
What'd you do with the other 3 seconds, Jake?
Gotcha. Watch
Finished
the rest
and
of
felt
it.
bad about myself.
I bought the fucking thing. Watching it again with fresh eyes and being like, unabated with my own baggage.
Unencumbered with your previous expectations.
That is such a good way to put it.
I'm good at things.
You should just do my part.
I should. Once I figure out once I get like a 20
Enough
hours
of
of
the AI
you,
in there.
then I can deep fake you. And then that'll be the Ben Affleck
I would
podcast.
listen to that podcast.
It'll be all about Affleck with Taylor and
You
deep
do
fake
it
Jake.
every day.
Deep fake Jake is a great
Deepfake
co-host.
Jake. God damn, that's so funny.
Can't wait. All right.
Yes.
So let's take a 3. Let's figure out what we're going
3.
to talk about next week for
All
All
right.
Affleck April.
So I'll suggest first.
Yeah, go ahead. What do
right.
you got for me for next week?
I am a huge fan of Damon Albarn, as you know,
From Gorillaz
from the Gorillaz.
and Blur.
I love the Gorillaz.
Mhm.
I'm all right with Blur.
Yeah.
But he also had a thing called Rocket Juice in the Moon.
What the fuck?
Rocket Juice in the Moon. It
And,
is a
and the moon or in the moon?
and the moon.
Like there are 2 people, one named Rocket Juice and one named the Moon.
Maybe Rocket Juice is Damon Albarn, and the moon is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
shit.
It is an African funk band with Damon Albarn and Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I've never heard of this.
It is an amazing album. One of my favorite albums.
Huh. Is it just one album?
Just one album. Just a little
Nice.
fun little thing that they did.
Released in March of 2012.
I got it because I love Damon Albarn. I was looking forward to this.
It's got Erykah Badu on it. God
It's-
damn.
It is so good. It's on Spotify. You'll
Okay.
find it there.
Damn, I've never heard of this. I'm already. Oh god, this is probably gonna be.
You
great.
give me Ben Affleck, one of your crushes. Here's my crush, baby, Damon Albarn.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
And this is
man.
him just showing off how fantastic he is as a musician.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to this. I've never
Hell
heard
yeah.
of this. Like,
That's
I'm
great.
genuinely curious about this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I got this one, which I think is
You said that.
probably my biggest stretch.
That's what last week you were saying.
Of
this
All
is the
Affleck
one
April?
that's pushing it.
Yes.
I kind of want to take a guess.
Do you?
Kind of feel like I might be right with my guess.
I don't. All right, don't guess because it might be something for next week
Okay.
or the week after next week, whenever it is.
Damn.
But just tell me if I'm right or if you're right or not.
Okay,
If not,
okay.
keep your
There
thing in
you
your
go.
head. Don't throw
Yes,
anything
yes.
else out.
That's good to
So I've wanted to bring something in here that's a different side of Affleck. I gave you
this
first
is-
week. I gave you Affleck. The serious, true story. Great guy.
Yeah, okay.
I
The
gave
dramatic
you,
boy.
Yes, I gave you Ben Affleck, the superhero, in this one. Charming
Yes,
as
yes.
fuck.
Action
Ben Affleck.
man.
So-
Good in action. We didn't bring that up. Good in action.
Yeah, it's good. It's it's
really
it's
good in
2003.
action.
It's really Matrixy,
Yeah.
but it's good. I'm giving you the 2007 thriller,
Ooh.
directed by Ben Affleck,
Oh, yeah. I don't know what this is.
screenplay by Ben Affleck, starring.
Good Will Hunting.
No, this is 2007. Good Will Hunting was like 97.
I was really close.
Directed by Ben Affleck, screenplay by Ben Affleck, starring Casey Affleck.
The Town?
No, Gone Baby Gone.
Oh. I like the
Ben
Gnarls
Affleck's-
Barkley song.
Oh, yeah, that is an article. So this is a 2007, they call it a neo-noir crime thriller.
That's up my alley right there.
Ben Affleck's first directing movie, and he wrote the movie.
First?
It's the first time he directed.
Okay. I
So
thought
this
that
was
was
the one
Argo,
where people
honestly.
were just like, hey, you're going to fucking direct a movie? You did Daredevil. Daredevil came out
That's
2 years
true.
before he started doing this.
Wow.
So this
That's
goes
very
from
true.
Daredevil to him starting this movie in like 2 years.
Wow.
And it's got his
Okay.
brother Casey Affleck in it, which I love Casey. Casey Affleck, I think, has some weird
I
allegations
don't-
about him.
I don't like him
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, but
I'm really sorry.
this isn't about. To be fair, this is all Affleck.
I think he's a
April. All
fine-
Afflecks
exactly.
are welcome
I will
here.
focus on the Affleck.
This is his
the
directing.
Ben.
Yes.
aspect.
And Argo was great because he directed Argo too, but Argo was also him directing him.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give you another side of him. Ben
got
directing
such a good
his little brother
out of himself because he loved himself so much.
He's got a mirror. He knows how good he is.
Yeah, he was looking in there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Gone Baby Gone is on HBO Max.
After 2 Ben Afflecks, I am at the point where I am not going to be upset if Ben Affleck is a part of something. I am at the point right now where I will tell you.
You're like, oh, Ben Affleck's in that?
Let's go watch Air.
You want to watch Air?
Let's go watch Air.
We'll make plans to make Air. That'll be our second Up and Out. We'll figure out a way to record us going to see Air.
I say we watch Air.
All right, so Gone Baby Gone is on HBO Max.
And I'm telling you right now, the only reason I want to watch Air is because Ben Affleck is in it.
Really?
Yeah. I have no other interest in this movie.
Outstanding. All Affleck April is going along so much better than I thought it would. Before we leave, be sure to follow us on Instagram at upyouralleypod. If you have a recommendation for us, we did our first listener recommendation last week.
Yeah.
I was given a correction that wasn't technically our first listener recommendation that we talked about. Because we had the video game Splitgate.
That's true.
Adam recommended to us, and we talked about that briefly, but we didn't give him a whole episode.
No.
So Bunraka is our first official listener recommendation. Send us
good correction, though. Good correction. Nice spot.
I appreciate the corrections. Send your emails to upyouralleypod@gmail.com. Subscribe to our YouTube page. If you're listening to this on YouTube or watching this on YouTube, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Do the like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about the podcast. Do all that stuff.
Tell one friend. Then that friend tells 2 friends.
And we're going to pyramid scheme
and then those 2 friends tell 2 friends.
So essentially, if we know someone with 39 friends, it's the whole population of the world.
Yeah. You just give us $50, and we'll give you...
They don't tell them about the $50.
The Up Your Alley...
No. First, they got to get their friends involved.
Box that helps you sell the
Up
Your Alley...
Your Box?
Up Your Box. Yeah.
This has gone on too long. We've recorded for too long.
Yeah.
Just subscribe to all that stuff. Instagram, I said. Everything else I said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still shocked at how much better it sounds than when it did the first time.
Right? Now we know.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to forget next time, but now we know.
So listen to Rocket Juice and the Moon.
Hell yeah. That's on
Spotify. Watch Gone Baby Gone on HBO Max. We'll be back next week for the 3rd week of All Affleck April.
Damn.
All right. Thanks for talking to me, Jake. Love you, buddy.
I love you, buddy.
See ya.
Bye-bye.